The whole problem with the world is that fools and fanatics are always so certain of themselves, and wiser people so full of doubts. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong. The good life is one inspired by love and guided by knowledge. The world is full of magical things patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper. The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation. 3 passions, simple but overwhelmingly strong, have governed my life: the longing for love, the search for knowledge, and unbearable pity for the suffering of mankind. I believe in using words, not fists. I believe in my outrage knowing people are living in boxes on the street. I believe in honesty. I believe in a good time. I believe in good food. I believe in sex. To be without some of the things you want is an indispensable part of happiness. Mathematics may be defined as the subject in which we never know what we are talking about, nor whether what we are saying is true. There is much pleasure to be gained from useless knowledge. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. Patriotism is the willingness to kill and be killed for trivial reasons. Those who have never known the deep intimacy and the intense companionship of mutual love have missed the best thing that life has to give. Patriots always talk of dying for their country and never of killing for their country. Extreme hopes are born from extreme misery. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. A life without adventure is likely to be unsatisfying, but a life in which adventure is allowed to take whatever form it will is sure to be short. It has been said that man is a rational animal. All my life I've been searching for evidence which could support this. Those who forget good and evil and seek only to know the facts are more likely to achieve good than those who view the world through the distorting medium of their own desires. Democracy is the process by which people choose the man who will get the blame. I've made an odd discovery. Every time I talk to a savant, I feel quite sure that happiness is no longer a possibility. Yet when I talk with my gardener, I'm convinced of the opposite. Work is of 2 kinds. First, altering the position of matter at or near the Earth's surface relative to other matter. Second, telling other people to do so. Sin is geographical. The fundamental defect of fathers in our competitive society is that they want their children to be a credit to them. It is possible that mankind is on the threshold of a golden age, but if so, it will be necessary first to slay the dragon that guards the door, and this dragon is religion. What is wanted is not the will to believe, but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. Much that passes as idealism is disguised hatred or disguised love of power. Ethics is in origin the art of recommending to others the sacrifices required for cooperation with oneself. Right discipline consists not in external compulsion, but in the habits of mind which lead spontaneously to desirable rather than undesirable activities. A hallucination is a fact, not an error. What is erroneous is a judgment based upon it. Men who are unhappy, like men who sleep badly, are always proud of the fact. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. The fundamental cause of the trouble is that in the modern world the stupid are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubt. Life is nothing but a competition to be the criminal rather than the victim. One of the symptoms of an approaching nervous breakdown is the belief that one's work is terribly important. Men are born ignorant, not stupid. They are made stupid by education. To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. A happy life must be to a great extent a quiet life, for it is only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. The secret to happiness is to face the fact that the world is horrible. If there were in the world today any large number of people who desired their own happiness more than they desired the unhappiness of others, we could have a paradise in a few years. Religion is something left over from the infancy of our intelligence. It will fade away as we adopt reason and science as our guidelines. The secret of happiness is this: let your interest be as wide as possible, and let your reactions to the things and persons that interest you be as far as possible friendly rather than hostile. The true spirit of delight, the exaltation, the sense of being more than man, which is the touchstone of the highest excellence, is to be found in mathematics as surely as poetry. Collective fear stimulates herd instinct and tends to produce ferocity toward those who are not regarded as members of the herd. The megalomaniac differs from the narcissist by the fact that he wishes to be powerful rather than charming, and seeks to be feared rather than loved. To this type belong many lunatics and most of the great men of history. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Neither a man nor a crowd nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. Advocates of capitalism are very apt to appeal to the sacred principles of liberty, which are embodied in one maxim: the fortunate must not be restrained in the exercise of tyranny over the unfortunate. Love is something far more than desire for sexual intercourse. It is the principal means of escape from the loneliness which afflicts most men and women throughout the greater part of their lives. The fact that an opinion has been widely held is no evidence whatever that it is not utterly absurd. Most people would sooner die than think. In fact, they do so. Science is what you know, philosophy is what you don't know. The infliction of cruelty with a good conscience is a delight to moralists. That is why they invented hell. The degree of one's emotions varies inversely with one's knowledge of the facts. We are faced with the paradoxical fact that education has become one of the chief obstacles to intelligence and freedom of thought. Drunkenness is temporary suicide. I say quite deliberately that the Christian religion, as organized in its churches, has been and still is the principal enemy of moral progress in the world. In all affairs, it's a healthy thing now and then to hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted.